Hello everyone, welcome to this week's SOP Motorsport, and we're here at BATHURST in Australia for the GT4 event. This is our first GT4 event at SOP and it's quite exciting. We've got a lot of the regulars here, AJ to the P, Ampio, and a few new faces. Talking to new faces, I'm joined with Raven in the commentary box.
Good evening, Bailey. Thank you very much for the welcome. I'm mega excited to be here for this hour and 50 minutes of race round Bathurst, the Mount Panorama that is the mental apocalypse for race drivers, especially in these GT4 cars. Absolutely looking forward to this. It's going to be a fabulous race, Bailey.
I agree. I can't agree more, to be honest with you. This track is mental. We were talking before the stream and you were saying how crazy this track is, and I think we are in for a good one.
Oh, definitely in for a good one. There is no place to breathe apart from the Conrod Straight. As we see the drivers coming along the Conrod Straight, this is the only place to get you catch your breath, and it's also one of the only places to overtake. So as you think you're catching your breath, you look in your rear view mirror and you see this just unbelievable slipstream sucking the driver behind you straight up underneath your rear wing as you come into one of the heaviest braking zones on the track, which is of course the chase. So I'm expecting to see some serious action through here. Even, I mean, some of these drivers, as some of the regulars know, fabulous drivers, but yeah, Bathurst can bite, and when it does, it bites hard.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out now into the first corner. It's quite a tight one, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's even called Hell Corner.
Yeah, there we go.
The first corner is known as Hell Corner, and it's known that way for a reason. You take your eyes off for 1 second, you are a millimetre off your braking zone or your acceleration zone, you are coming face to face with one of the walls early in your race career, and it's not something any of these drivers are going to be relishing. No,
and exactly, and we're about to get underway for this 1 hour and a half event at Bathurst, so let's see.
Yeah, expecting a good start here as well.
And we are green. And is that Ampio getting a good start in the BMW? I think it was.
Yeah, I think that might have been AJ to the P in fourth there, sneaking that up there in his Audi.
Audi, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's definitely, bit of contact in the back. Oh, both drivers avoided the wall. That is primary goal number one here. I mean, you might lose a bit of time, but like we were just here, this is an hour and a half race. We've got pit stops for fuel. So a little contact with that, keep an eye on the wall. That's actually a massive bonus for these guys as we come into the first, coming at the second corner, Quarry Bend, going up the mountain to what is quite possibly one of the most terrifying stretches of racetrack conceived ever.
Yeah, and we just watching, I'm not going to attempt the name here, Murdoch in the Mercedes leading his way up the hill for the first time. Ampio in the BMW behind, and you're right, AJ in the Audi got a good start up into third.
Yeah, so he's taken Dan VW Webb in the AMG. Now that is quite surprising because for me the AMG, well actually GT4s, I don't have a lot of experience with the GT4s, but certainly in the GT3 class, the AMG is not a car to be trifled with as these guys start their descent down Skyline into the S's and into the Dipper. One of the most undulating parts of the track is, it's so easy to unsettle your car coming down here, Bailey. I'm breathing in like I'm driving here. It's fabulous stuff watching these guys do this.
It does. It gives you anxiety just thinking, you know, all the times you've hit the wall here. And there's so many walls to hit at Bathurst, but I've never driven the GT4s, and I think this track is, combined with the GT4s, is really challenging to drive. So I think we're in for a really good one in the first few stages of this event.
Oh, I definitely think so. I think one of the things with the GT4 is they're excellent at corner and they carry great corner speed, which could lull drivers into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
And I said it just as the cars were passing this point the last lap. When Bathurst bites you, it bites you. There is no quarter given nor asked on this track. And yeah, you could easily come down here looking like an extra from an Avengers film. Bits hanging off left and right, just look like you've gone toe to toes. We've come to the end of the first lap and it seems to be the status quo here, Bailey. Murdoch's maintained his lead, Ampio's stuck in there behind him, and AJ to the P with that move on the start line. He's still sitting there nicely in third with a tidy little gap between the first four cars, getting themselves a nice little gap to Uni Clark. With another little bunch of drivers in there, so, well, when I say a little bunch of drivers, there's what, 7, 8 cars, all within touching distance of them, so this is going to be interesting going up the hill here.
Yeah, and the hill is tight anyway on the track, but making a move here is more than you know.
The levels of testicular fortitude it takes to make an overtake going up this hill are gargantuan, my good friend. I'll tell you that. Yeah, like I said, I drove here. I did a 45-minute race here up this, and that was stressful enough. I mean, the difference with a race like this, you've got to be thinking about your fuel strategy. You've got to be thinking about your tyre strategy.
Yeah.
You're going to struggle. Because on a track like this, as you know, there's an 800-metre elevation. That's a lot of thin air to be driving in at the top of here, so your tyres are going to overheat, and when you get back down to the bottom of the hill, you've got hot tarmac to deal with. At the moment, these guys are at 31 degrees in the track temperature, so that's going to be working in their favour. But if it gets up to, say, 33, 34, which, let's face it, this is Australia,
yes,
that could well, you know what I mean, that could well play on people's minds and make them make, well, questionable-ish decisions when it comes to their pit stops, because the pit stop on this is absolutely beyond crucial.
Yeah, and we just watch now the Mercedes of Dan in 4th, and he's gaining quite a lot on the Audi of AJ to the P. I was expecting AJ to jump on to Ampere a bit sooner than this, but this is GT4, this is not GT3, which is what these drivers are used to. So it's a bit of fun. It's like driving go-karts. Yes,
yeah, a new experience for these guys, a new experience for us as well. And I think as well, with the distance they are, we were just talking about overtakes are so difficult on the mountain. It looks to me that the slipstream along the Conrad straight into the chase doesn't seem to be quite as effective as it is in the GT3. So when you're sitting at this half a second gap, you're kind of looking there, but then as soon as you get to the mountain, so these guys effectively, all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, because it is that simple, of course, is to defend along the Conrad straight in the chase, and then along the mountain straight. If you've got your nose in front, going up that hill, especially in a race like this, this isn't a sprint race, okay? These drivers know to finish first, you must first finish. And there's no point sticking your nose in where you're going to get it cut off. So these guys are going to bide their time, they're going to put in laps, they're going to size up their opposition and think to themselves, right, I'm quicker here, he's slower there. Let's just do it, because like we say, the overtakes on the mountain, especially early doors, we're not going to see that. Conrad straight, yeah, if you can get in the slipstream, you're going to go. But again, sorry to keep banging on, but yeah, I mean, even, do you want to be in the lead?
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same.
Do you want to be in the lead? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you want the pressure? Do you want to be giving away all that slipstream? Do you want to be the one using your tyres and your fuel to guide people along? So, yeah, we could even see drivers sitting back and just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, and I think what is happening naturally, the top 4 are leading now. Murdoch's leading the top 4, and what they're doing is doing a really good job of staying together. There's a 4-second gap to the next car, Clark, and I'm just wondering if Murdoch can pull away. I think we were saying just before the stream, it's about a 20-second pit stop.
Yeah, so on the pit lane, you're looking about, I think it's about 1.5 seconds per litre of fuel that you need to put in, and I'm guessing that these guys are going to need to put in someplace between 30 to 45 litres of fuel to be able to get to the end of this race. So 20 seconds would be if you just nipped in very quickly, did a quick stop and go. So if you stick a few seconds on top of that, we could be looking at about 30-40 seconds of time. You do need about 30 seconds to change your tyres, but the fuel goes in concurrently with that. So I would say the longest we would see anybody pitting for would be a 30-second actually physically stop for. So with a 20-second entry, you could be, it could create quite a gap. So the drivers would be looking at falling back and looking to try and find some fresh air. I mean, the leading group just now, if they keep this up, they're looking at coming out, I'd say probably about 11th or 12th if we look at that gap back there with LNR, Bad Bull. So an early pit stop might not actually be an overly bad idea, although at the moment I don't think they would be able to put in enough fuel to get to the end of the race. I don't think they would have used enough at the moment to get the 40 litres in.
Yeah, because we're just watching now, sorry, Evan IRL has just pitted. He's got extreme damage on the front.
Right.
It's likely that it's a tap with the ball, more than a tap, sorry, but a bit of a beating with the ball. But I mean, that's what you expect around Bathurst, so he's just going to get the damage done, I presume.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to carry damage for 15-20 minutes. You can kind of manage it. You think to yourself, you know what, driving this, but this early in the race, and also, like what you said, I mean, he may well be able to put in enough fuel. If he sticks on a fresh set of tyres, that could be him good to go to the end of the race. And based on where he is, the rest of the field are at the top of the mountain. In fact, no, sorry, the rest of the field are coming down the bottom of the mountain. So if he could get out in the next few seconds, which, is his car even on it? I can't really see the car being raced, so I'm not sure any work's been done on it, but if he can get out in front of them and get himself some clean air, he could certainly salvage a bad situation. I think it's I think would be the best bet, but it looks like they're coming together up at the top of the mountain. And who is that? I think it's Ace Tuned. Ace Tuned is moving slowly, and there's a bunch of free cars in front of him.
Yeah, the Porsche, you're right.
I think that guitar dude may have been that guitar dude again. We were talking before stream. He is a decent championship finisher. We've got a couple of guys in here that have finished in the top 3 in last year's Pro Sprint Series, and that guitar dude was certainly there or thereabouts. So we were expecting a better quality, but certainly didn't expect him to be this far back in the pack. But it does look like he's been involved in an incident with Ace Tune, so Ace may be coming into the pits as well.
Yeah, possibly. We'll have a look at that. Oh, we've got Carnage on the straight. Well, hold on, where's that? Jump back on.
That's LNR. That's one of the LNR guys.
LNR boys, yeah, you're right.
Yes, he has. He's had a mistake on the mountain straight, and that is absolutely going to cost him. He's gotten him back on, but he's about to get swamped. Yep, he's going to lose an absolute massive places.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait for that to update, I think.
Update, yeah. As soon as I get through Sector 1, that will, of course, update for us to see a bit better. But that is
unfortunate, yeah.
That is unfortunate, because they did qualify quite well. The LNR guys, there's 2 of them. They're both new. We haven't seen them racing before, so this is their first venture into SOP Motorsports, and qualified in 7th and 16th. They're now running 11th and 12th with Blixham involved in an incident in that Chevy of his. He is, of course, the only Chevy driver in this. In the event at the moment, we've got a good mix of cars. Although I would question the drivers of the sanity of the drivers. Sorry, Bailey. And we've got 6 AMGs, 3 BMWs, 4 Audis, a couple of Porsches, and Aston. Not one Ferrari. Is
there a Ferrari GT4?
There is a Ferrari everything, my good man, I can assure you. There's a Ferrari mug, I'm sure there's a Ferrari. You can get Ferrari socks, so I guarantee you there is a Ferrari GT4 car. I mean, it's not that I'm massively biased and it's the only car I ever drive when I'm driving in my little league races on this, but yeah. It is a great car to drive, but yeah, we've got none of them on the grid. So yeah, massively disappointed from the off with these guys. Definitely question some of their sanity, although you've got to question anybody's sanity doing an hour and a half on Bathurst. 45 minutes during the week, that was more than enough for me. So yeah, give me Spa in the wet. Give me Spa during the thunderstorm.
Anything Spa.
Yeah, anything Spa. Yeah, absolutely, all over that. Yeah. So yeah, we're getting 5 laps into this now, and Murdoch the Menace, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's got himself a beautiful little 1.8 second gap. It looks like Uni Clark has been left behind a bit. I think Dan.
Yeah, 7 seconds.
Sorry, Dan
now.
VW. Yeah, Dan VW is getting left a bit behind as well. You've got Ampio and AJ to the P. So AJ to the P, but we're surprised where he qualified, because of course he finished 2nd in the Pro Championship Sprint Series last season. So for him to qualify in 4th, that was a bit of a surprise. But he's had a great start off the line. He's got himself up a position, and he's just absolutely hanging into the back of the MPO. He's just using that slipstream. He's staying just outside the dirty air. He's not letting his tyres get too worn. He's not using too much fuel, because he's dipping in and out. And I think AJ to the P could still be one to watch, even though Murdoch's pulling away. Based on last season, I mean, the guy obviously, the Pro Sprint Series champion, that is the sprint, a totally different ball game to endurance racing. You've got your pit stops, you've really got to think about tyre. Oh, and they're getting close.
Very close now. And I was just about to mention, actually, the way that AJ's car was moving around then going down the hill. I was thinking, hold on, he's pushing quite hard to be, his car was everywhere. So he's pushing on Ampio, and these two battled in the sprint series, like you said. Ampio actually came out on top. And so this could get personal between these two.
Is what we're saying, yeah. And I think the reason you'll find, well, yeah, so I obviously, definitely got that wrong. AJ is pushing, and the reason he's pushing, I would say, is to make sure he's on the back of him coming along the Conrod Straight, just to try and make the most of that slipstream. So, AJ to the P could be worth watching. He might fancy getting this done on track early rather than relying on a pit strategy. Because again, I mean, AJ might be on lighter fuel at the moment. I mean, AJ might have been planning on a bit of lighter fuel. Murdoch might as well. If he's gone out with a lighter fuel load and thinks to himself, I can get away clean, get away early, get the laps in, pit early and fill up to the end. If he was going to do that, we'd probably see him coming in around about an hour left of the race, I reckon. So I think 16 minutes from now, that could be when we see the first few pitters come in. Obviously you're going to get the guys that are going to go long and try and push it to
there's always one.
half an hour, 50 minutes. There's always one. There's always one. But again, I mean, it's a strategy. I say a strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
A strategy I've used before as well is if you can plan coming out and get one of your competitors behind you, and if you can defend, keep them behind, you're wasting their tyre. Their tyres are coming down, the weight of the car's coming down. If you can keep them behind and cause them to defend, gives you a much better chance of making the undercut work and gaining yourself a few places back if you do find yourself out of position. Because so far, touch wood, I mean, I know we all do love an incident or two, but on Bathurst, slightest tap of the wall. I mean, you were saying earlier, he's had a slight tap of the wall. There's no such thing.
Chance.
No, you have a slight tap of the wall, you're then introduced to another wall and introduced to another wall.
It's too many walls.
Too many walls. Far too many walls.
We're actually riding on board with Goalie in 7th. He's battling quite hard with the Audi. He's in a Mercedes. We were saying that you were thinking actually the Mercedes is quite dominant around here. And he is extremely confident. He's going to make a move up the hill. Let's just say that. So, I mean, we could see an overtake here.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I mean, the Mercedes, it may be the size of a battle cruiser, but it has absolute legs in a straight line. Absolute legs in a straight line, and that is being beautifully demonstrated by Goalie here. Tell you what, he might fancy this. He needs to be close going under that Pirelli sign. If you're not close going under that Pirelli sign, you really have to question whether you can get on and off the brakes quick enough going through the chase, because the overspeed here, and there he goes up the inside. Absolute textbook. Oh, he's kissed the curb and made contact. You did the difficult part. He did the difficult part. He got himself in position. He kept himself close down the mountain, and just that one little touch of the curb, and that is full blown Game of Thrones.
Disappointing.
The mountain crushes another one. That is disappointing. But for the benefit of Goalie, he didn't kiss any of the walls. It doesn't look like he made. I mean, it was a minor contact, so he may have lost
it was very little.
Aero. It was very little. So fingers crossed the both of them got out of there unscathed with a minimum of damage, because that's when you get like I say, this mountain, I mean, as soon as you get past the pit entrance, if you damage your car from here and have to do a lap in a damaged car, you can kiss goodbye to so many places and just watch so much hard work sail on down the river without a paddle. So
we're riding on board with we're riding on board with RDN Yokchen in the Mercedes, so another Mercedes battle, and again on an Audi. They're just travelling up the hill now. He's very close, coming up towards the second turn. I think this could be a similar situation. Hopefully a bit more patience this time.
Yeah. Well, patience. I'd maybe have to watch that again. We'll give him a bit of patience on that. But yeah, I think he just completely underestimated the overspeed. That's what catches you out. Completely overestimated his overspeed. You had the move made, turned in a bit early. I think he was being extra respectful and trying to get space
to be fair,
but yeah, you're right, a bit of patience. If he'd have waited and just got round the chase, he could have taken him on the home straight rather than popping his nose in, like I was saying earlier. If you pop your nose in where it's likely to get cut off, and Bathurst will help cut it off for you. Just so you know. Just so you know. But here we go again. So it's another Mercedes on Audi. And yeah, we've got 6 AMGs in the field, so you've got to feel the drivers feel that this is a good car round here. I wouldn't say it's an accident that is the dominant car in the field.
We do have a yellow flag, by the way.
Up at the top of the mountain.
What number
we
was
do.
that?
Smith & Wesson 96.
Oh, no way. In the Audi, you're right.
Yeah, Smith & Wesson 96. Has he made any contact with the number 25 car, which is Hill Rocker, who is back in the start now? If I remember correctly, Hill Rocker was probably just off 10th in qualification. So
he's hit the wall again.
Oh.
And like you were saying, if you get damage in the hill, like you said, you're going to be bouncing off walls. So he's gonna want to pit now, I'd say. And it's about right. It's not too bad, is it? 11 minutes before the hour mark, and you said if they want to pit about the hour. So yeah, really. Yeah,
realistically, I would say if he puts on a fresh set of boots now, he will get them to the end. He can certainly get them to the end. Just take 10% off. You know what I mean? It's like I said earlier. It's not about. You don't have to finish first. You need to first finish. You've got to get your car across the line. It's all fine and well. Oh, I can lap quickly. I want to be faster. I want to be faster. Nah, makes no difference being fast if you can't get to the end of the race. And am I right? Am I saying this? Hill Rocker has avoided the pits.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, Hill Rocker has not. Sorry, I was still watching Hill Rocker there just to see what he did of checking out the damage. He has got a lot of scraping on the front left-hand side, so he's not done. He's maybe not done enough aero damage to put himself off. He maybe doesn't have enough fuel in the tank, enough space in the fuel tank. Sorry, to fuel to the end. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what his lap times look like. I am going to keep a little second eye to see how Hill Rocker gets on. See if we can figure out how much damage he's carrying. As the rest of these guys race on in lap 9 with Murdoch the Menace, 2.9 second lead. And ooh. Did Murdoch the Menace just have a mistake? No, I think I looked at that the wrong way. I think I saw someone in the background have a mistake, but AM to the P is being left behind by Murdoch, and AJ to the P is now being left behind by AMPO.
Yeah, so, and I was just watching. Dan's been doing quite well, and he's kept up with AJ to the P. He did get it down to around about 9/10 the gap, and he's sticking around a second. So he's obviously found pace, or AJ's backed off a little bit. We're not too sure.
Yeah, not entirely sure. Well, it could well be that AJ to the P was finding that his tyres were suffering with too much dirty air. I mean, we're talking about getting in the slipstream's good. Yeah. But to get in the slipstream along the Conrod Straight, you need to be close coming down that mountain, and you are asking a lot of your tyres with the car undulation. To get a good line through here, as you're coming up the hill, the double kink left, just this first section up into the cutting, you need to be in that undulation in the road, that camber of the road, to get your car to rotate and carry the speed. You see, there we go. Yeah, so to get your car rotated and carry that speed, that's the catch-22 of this course. You really need to be on point, but you cannot afford to drop any speed in any of the corners. So you are constantly trying to find that balance of being on the edge, but also not being that tense that you forget to breathe for
not too
25
close.
minutes at a time. Because yeah, it's certainly easily done around here. This is definitely a catch your breath course.
So we're again riding on board with RDN in the Mercedes, and he's getting closer and closer now, and he's at the top of the hill with the Audi. So this is the dangerous part of the track, I think. The sweeping corners and the fast, because it's downhill as well.
Yeah, well again, road camber, you need to use the road camber to rotate your car, but it's very, very easy for the road camber to say, yeah, you got that slightly wrong. And next thing you know, you're watching your rear spoiler in your front window and you're thinking to yourself, something's not quite right here. And you feel like an extra from Tokyo Drift as you come down the mountain sideways. We've certainly seen that in the past in a few races I've been in. So yeah, I mean this track is, I mean, the pit lane, the pit entrance has a chicane. That's how unforgiving this track is. We've got walls constantly, we've got slipstream into a place like the Chase, where again you've got a blind entrance to the corner as you come up over that hill. You need to be so tight so you don't hit the curve on the left and the right, but then you need to maintain the speed to come into this home straight. And then as soon as you get around the bottom straight, you're straight back up the hill, dealing with close walls and undulating track and track camber, and yeah, just constant mental on the ball, or you are Hovis, as we say in the trade.
So, what part of the track is this? Remind me. We're watching.
Sorry, who we're on board with at the moment?
Seventh.
Alright, so we're on the bottom of this. So this is the mountain straight. So they're going to come along the mountain straight. If we're still aboard for a lap, then yeah. So he's.
Here we
coming.
go.
Oh, and what's happened there? Oh, we've had an overtake move. Yep, he's absolutely nailed him coming into the quarry bend as they come up towards the cutting. The cutting is difficult. So you come through this first part. You need to be flat here, give it a little bit of lift for this first left-hander, be on the brakes just after it, and you want to get your wing mirror as close to this wall. Although he's taking a nice middle line there, probably trying to ward off the attack, but you see, that's it again, we were saying that before the stream about the GT4s, they can actually quite comfortably take a more middle line, rather than having to concern themselves with overly hitting curves because of the cornering abilities that these little lighter cars than their bigger GT3 brothers bring as they're coming along the top through Reed Park, Sulman Park and McPhillamy Park. McPhillamy Park is an absolute horror show of a right-hander into the sand. We're coming down Skyline, the S's and the Dipper, and we've had somebody get out of place there. That is a bit of a coming together as they're coming down at the Forest Elbow.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Forest Elbow again, this there's a little left before you take this, sorry, a little right before you take this left, and again, the road camber can easily throw the back of your car round, so you really can't be on the brakes and accelerator together at any point in time. You need to be smooth, and if you've got somebody breathing your exhaust fumes this close to you, it's very hard to be smooth, as these guys are showing.
I hope he didn't pick up too much damage off the wall. He did. I think it is partly the pressure and being pushed along, being urged to go faster. I think it happens to the best of us. If you've got someone trying to overtake you and the pressure gets to you, you tend to make mistakes. At least I do.
Amen. I'm going to go and fetch my tambourine and give that a little hallelujah as well. I definitely understand what the pressure, and especially in an event like this. So we've got an endurance. You don't want to stick your nose in, but especially you've got two guys that close. It's all fine and well having one guy you're battling, but if you're in the lead of a group of 2-3 cars, you know what's happening if one of them gets through. Somebody else is instantly on your rear end, so you're then trying to attack the guy in front, not lose your tyres in the slipstream, but also defend from the guy behind, so that doubles the pressure that you feel almost. So yeah, being the leader of a little pack, that definitely amps the pressure up. And on a track like this, like we keep saying, there is no quarter given a rest by the track itself. When you get drivers competitively trying to beat one another, there's not much quarter given a rest either, so it definitely is an explosive combination. We've
missed something here, and that is AJ being overtaken by Dan. I don't know how it's happened, but the move's been done. Whether it was a mistake from AJ, which it's likely by the way they're closer now. AJ's looking to fight back. There's no damage on the car.
AJ, does he have a bit of a scrape on the front left?
Maybe. Has he gone wide? Maybe. I'm not too sure.
I can't tell if that's his paint job or the guy's. Yes. He needs monochrome colour from now on, chap. So the commentators need a bit of a help here. What are you doing to us? Actually making us work for this here. This is not what we signed up for, chaps. It's supposed to be entertainment. Come on. But yeah, so Dan has got the move done on AJ. We're too busy in the middle of the park, but we were.
It's exciting race. That's why.
It's exactly. It is. It's a brilliant race, and so often you find that these guys up the front, they will just get themselves a gap and they will just put in the laps. I mean, I'm having a quick look at Murdoch. Absolutely smooth as butter. That guy is just.
Oh yeah.
Hitting his marks, and he's now 3.3 seconds
clear
ahead. 12 laps in, so he is putting himself in a nice consistent pace, just keeping himself to himself, enjoying the free track and enjoying the pressureless existence of being able to look in his rear view mirror and enjoy the view rather than seeing a massive BMW badge that is attached to AMPO's car. But AMPO as well, he's got to be happy at the moment. He's within striking distance for the undercut, and he's got himself a nice little gap to Dan, who is now having to defend to AJ to the P, which is going to bring Uni Clark back in it.
Uni Clark.
Let's give Uni Clark some credit here. He was dropping off the back of these guys. These have been battling. I think there's been a couple of mistakes up front, and Uni Clark is dragging himself back into this with a little gap over Yoko-chan. So
has he gone into the wall? Uni Clark, I think Or who is it? No.
No, that's not Uni Clark. Not Uni Clark is still
Is it? No.
running nicely.
Sixth
Smoothly.
position. They're very close. Sorry. I think I saw someone bounce off the wall. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, no, this is some really, it's hard to keep up. Yeah, you think to yourself with the German race, oh, there'll be long, drawn-out paths with nothing to do, and what we're going to do while the drivers are
when there's silence.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But I mean, if we look at the track map, you can see there's little groups of cars all just
dotted around.
And this one here, this is a fabulous little group of drivers. This was this Canapio. I hope I'm doing that justice, my friend. Canapio, Yoka-chan, and that guitar dude. So that guitar dude we mentioned a couple of times. He is
okay.
a apprentice racer. Oh, and he's missed the entrance to the SS. He's missed the entrance to the SS. He did clip the wall a little bit, but he's lost himself 2 or 3 places there. And that guitar dude is definitely saying thank you very much as a beneficiary from that little coming together. I think when we cross the next timing line, is he ahead of Yoka-chan as well?
Yes, he is, yeah. He should be. He should be behind Canapio.
He should be. Canapio, has he? Oh no, so that's the goalie, sorry, so the goalie's come back in. So the guitar did... Oh no, yes, you're right. It's just the timing section. They need to update that. What are you doing to me? You're making it so hard. Come on, take it easy. So yes, we see the guitar dude. So yeah, absolute massive beneficiary from that there. He's got himself the 7th, and well, there we go, championship pedigree. We were practically writing this guy off at the start. Oh, he's qualified out of place, there's been a bit. No, there you go. Head down, put the laps in, keep the pressure on, and good things will happen.
So yeah, speaking of goalie, he's looking to make a move now. I think he
is racy.
Yeah.
He's going to go for the cutback. He's going to try and get on the brakes here and get up the inside. Foot down nice and early. Oh yeah, so gone straight for the overtake. He's not using any slipstream, so this is now a drag race between 2 AMGs.
Oh.
See now, I couldn't see properly. I did
no,
think
it was
slipstream
yeah, that was
early.
odd.
That was far too early. I don't know. Don't stick it up there. Wow. Okay.
Good respect from
yeah, massive respect from Yoka-chan. To be fair, I think that was a more of a breathe in and get out of the way before I get torpedoed into shadow realm there. Probably myself going to have to call this one like I see it, but if I was on the receiving end, I probably wouldn't be massively happy. For me, I'm going to call it like it is. For me, he got out the slipstream too early. If he'd have stayed in that slipstream and got his overspeed and got in there, but he didn't. So he was side by side going into that turn. So
very keen to make the move, that's for sure.
Very racy, and with an hour left to go in pit stops, do you really want to give the mountain the opportunity to keep one of your front quarter panels as a souvenir? You know what I mean? There's going to be enough of your competitors leaving enough paint on the walls from their wing mirrors. You don't need to give them any extra encouragement, as Murdoch the Menace absolutely smoothly comes to finish his 14th lap with a 3.2 second lead. So he's lost the 10th. I say lost the 10th. He's probably realised that he's pacing quite well. And
I think he was behind this back marker in the Chevrolet LNR.
Yes, that's who's that, LNR Bad Bull? Or
yeah,
Blixham?
And
so
he's
Blixham, it's Blixham, yeah. He was of course involved in an incident earlier, so he may well be carrying damage there. And he's been absolutely destroyed by that BMW there.
Good job.
He's letting him through, so that's all good. And Dan, so AJ to the P's in the pits. AJ to the P. He's had enough of being in Dan's rear spoiler, so he's coming and getting a pit. So I'd imagine he's going to be in there for a while and hope to get himself out and get himself some clear, which he will. I think the closest car, Hill Rocker, is going to be his biggest threat to traffic. With him coming out the pit, given the gap that he's got there. He should get out comfortably, as we see a massive group of cars coming around the front there. I'll say massive, sorry, is that 3 of them? Yeah, it is 3 of them. Commentator's exaggeration there, but they are bringing that round. They're bringing that round the first corner, and a lot of these guys are absolutely still competing. We're a good half an hour into this race, and they are definitely keeping their foot in it. As we've got more cars in the pit, so Ace Tuned. Now Ace Tune's already pit. It looks like he's in the pit again. So is that a second pit stop, or does that instantly clear
instantly
clear.
Yeah.
It does instantly clear. So Ace tuned. Now he's back in 15. So he's going to need a good.
AJ got out in front of the nearest threat, I believe. Was it?
Yes, he did.
Oh, good stuff.
So yeah, he did massively out in front. In fact, he's still in 10th ahead of the LNR boys. So
yeah, and look at that clear air as well.
Yep, he has got a lot of clean track in front of him.
Wow.
So he is absolutely... See now, this is where, racer mentality. Does he push? Or does he just keep it clean? And see, he's on outlap tyres. AJ, chill, take a deep breath. You're on outlap tyres, mate. Let's get through this one, warm it up. And because come the end of this race, I think there's going to be, the last 10 laps of this, like the first 15 haven't been interested, but I think the last 7, 8, 9 laps of this, there's going to be a lot of cars that are going to suddenly come together and be fighting for positions 5th and beyond. Given the gap between AJ, what is he, 37 seconds off, so he's definitely within striking range when the pit stops come around.
Yeah, and something that our viewers will know, that especially those that race AJ, is the consistency, and along with that is the speed. So you can be as consistent as you want, but if you haven't got the speed to back that up, which AJ has got, he's a serious threat to Murdoch. And I don't know if I've never seen Murdoch race. I personally haven't seen him race in SOP before. So if he hasn't seen AJ do what he does, I'm sure Ampio knows. So we'll probably want to get pitted, maybe get out behind and just get on with it. But it's a serious race at the front.
Oh yeah, it really is. It really is. And these guys are definitely going for it. And this is one of the beauties of endurance races. This is why you can have, it's so easy to have an accident. Your mind is on so many things. You've got to worry about track temperature, which is sitting stable at the moment for these guys, which is good for them. You've got to worry about your lightning fuel load. You've got to worry about your PSIs. You've got to worry about the guy behind you. Can I pit now? Can I pit then? So there is, there's a lot going on in these drivers' heads as well, which is what makes Bathurst just such that extra challenging track when you're doing an endurance race. Yes. Like this. You actually mentioned the viewers there. We've been on, there's been so much going on. Hello to everybody watching, by the way. I am the new guy that never shuts up. Thank you everybody for watching. I've just opened the chat window to see that there is people out there chatting and watching, so thank you very much everybody for tuning in. I know there's a lot of regulars. I answer to Raven or shut that new guy up. Whichever one you want to go for. When you're part of the SOP Motorsports, jump on their website, get signed up. We've got 1,000 drivers on ACC, on PC and PS4 that take part in these events. There's endurance races, there's sprint series. So if you enjoy racing yourself rather than just sit and listen to me rabbit on endlessly, then get yourself over to the website, jump onto their Discord. They're absolutely fabulous bunch of guys, and like I say, there's 1,000 sim racers on there on PS4 keen to race, and you can see in front of you some of them really can drive. I think we label some of them as aliens. Oh yes, that is the official terminology in the sim racing community for the levels ability that some of these guys display. I mean, for me, watching, commentating on this, talking about it, one of the reasons I get so excited is like when I watch football back in the day. I've got 2 left feet when it comes to playing football, and they're both for standing on. Neither were designed for kicking a football. And it's much the same with my driving. It's almost as if my hands are connected the wrong way round sometimes. So I know how difficult it is to hold your mental, like you were saying, when you feel pressure with somebody behind you. Even holding your nerve for 45 minutes. I did 45 minutes round here during the week in a 15, 18-man race. And the sweat down my back. Oh, straight in the shower after the race. It is ridiculous. You are just you're trying your hard to be so gentle on and off the brakes, because you don't want the back end locking up in your rear end. You don't want to cook your front tyres. You don't want to go into the wall. You've got to be so precise with your steering so you don't get understeer or oversteer and then end up flat spot in the front tyre. Just, absolutely fabulous. Fabulous track to drive. It's even better to watch.
Yes, and we're going to watch something now that will actually back your point up. And the gap between the top 3 here, 6th, 7th and 8th, back at it again with that guitar to Goli and Ardien Yukjan. Very close. Very close to the mountain.
Yeah, they really are. Within 4/10. So And at the back of that pack is an AMG. As we know, that thing is quick in a straight line. So it's now Audi versus Porsche versus AMG. So the Porsche is sticking his nose in. He's had enough of this Audi and Mercedes getting so much airtime. So he's, yeah, I'm going to get in the middle of these guys and show you how a Porsche runs. And it's a brave man that drives a Porsche on this game, I will tell you that for nothing. I've spent minimal time driving that car-carrying killer. But yeah, he's coming into the chase and he's not quite close enough. And I tell you, full respect him there for jamming on the brakes and not doing anything silly and sticking the nose in. But he knows, keep it at this distance, they're going to come round this final bend. And as they're coming along straight, oh, and the goalie is going into pits. Has the goalie pulled it? Yes, he has. So the goalie's pitting. The goalie's pitting, so he fancies getting himself some clear track. So he's jumped into the pits and he's left. Oh, and there's Yoka-chan coming as well. So Yoka-chan's coming in the pit as well. As that guitar dude and Canapeo disappear off into the distance. So there you go. Now Canapeo's got to be loving this. He's got a bit of slipstream. Now, is he going to get close enough here? This is what you want to see. Slipstream all the way along this bottom straight. And he is following that 100%. He's going to stick right in there until they get to Quarry Bend. And he's put it up the inside and he's given him a lot of room. He's made his life hard there and that's absolutely going to stick 100%.
Yeah, good move.
Absolutely, fabulous move there. Fabulous move. So he's absolutely made the right call staying out. And he is having an absolute dream of a race at the moment. I mean, Murdoch's lean, but that guitar dude, he has got to be loving life right now.
So let's check in on AJ to the P. So where is he? He's coming on the just finished what is 17th lap, I think that is. Where are the leaders though? What's the gap, I wonder?
So let's have a look. So Murdoch, where are you? You are coming along the bottom into the last corner. And sorry, the gap to who? I was just checking.
AJ to the P.
AJ to the P. So that is big.
Quite big. Yeah.
Yes, we're talking probably about a minute.
Yeah, so what's going on here then?
Yeah, so I think AJ to the P has had a nightmare.
Possibly, yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I think that he's definitely had some kind of massive issue. Maybe even a couple. Because, yeah, for a perennial championship winner to be this far down. And yeah, pulling the trigger this early, to be fair, I did expect some of these more professional guys, because when you go into the pits, you spend a while in the pits. Somebody there, well, yeah, they're going to be changing tyres, so you don't have to worry about your tyres cooling too much. But I did expect some of these guys to just put in the laps, and be pitting with about 15 minutes to go. So for AJ to be caught up in traffic, I think he's had to adjust his strategy. And yeah, I think it's going to cost him a podium, I think. I definitely think Uni Clark and that guitar dude for me. I mean, that guitar dude for me is, yeah, he definitely fancies himself as driver of the day here.
Oh, yes.
That's what he's done. He's thinking to himself, you know what, I'm going to qualify low, I'm going to race through the pack, I'm going to make it look good. And he's doing it in a Porsche, which is all the more impressive, because like I said, there's only 2 Porsches in the field.
Yeah,
again, I think that speaks volume to just how hard the Porsches are to handle with that massive engine mounted at the back over the wheels. So getting your aero balance right in these cars can be so difficult. Oh, as the guitar dude missed his acceleration point there, I think he's giving Canapeo a little sliver of hope there. I tell you, we can see that 1.2 seconds drop a bit.
Yeah, well, these two have been at it all race, haven't they?
Absolutely fantastic racing from the two of them. I mean, Guitar Dude's been involved in everything good so far for the first half of this race, as we are very much reaching the halfway point in the race. But 45 minutes this already is absolutely fluent. Absolutely flown. Oh yeah. With the amount of action that we've got going on here. As Murdoch comes to the end and he completes 19 laps with a 3.7 second lead over Ampio, with Dan VWB currently making up the final podium position. But let's remember, with 47 minutes to go on Death Mountain, yes. There's certainly anything that can happen. In fact, I'm sure I've aged about 5 years just talking about driving on this course. You know, like, actually taking part in this. So yeah, but it has, and we can see, I mean, I'm looking at the little map, I'm getting a feeling we've definitely got cars that are closer. We've got somebody into the pit, so one of the LNR guys is in, LNR Badbull. Now, he wasn't involved in an incident earlier, his teammate was, so Bart Bliskin, so I'd imagine these two being teammates, they'll be keen to get the one up on one another. If nothing else, they're both sporting the same team colour, so I'd imagine they'd like to get both of them up into the top 10.
Yeah.
But Bliskin certainly, after having that incident earlier, he seems to have dropped off the pace he was shown in qualifying, and he's got a couple of cars that are just threatening to creep up behind him here and make his life just a little bit more difficult. One of them being, is that an Audi tucked in there behind him? He's definitely got himself the little Aston Martin. Now I'm surprised there's not more Aston Martins, because from what I understand they are a wee touch OP. Oh, as we see Chris Pusick just, sorry, I'm watching through the other field here, but yeah, Chris Pusick's just had a bit of a lock-up going through the SS. He's got himself in between the LNR boys, so it'll be interesting to see if the two of them try and pull any strategy to close, because all three have pitted now, so this is basically tyre management to the end. I would say a dash to the end, but with 45 minutes to go, this is now about tyre management. Once you've been into pits and out again, you don't want Bathurst biting. But I tell you, I'm fantastically jealous, because yeah, the track temperature is at 31 degrees for these guys, which means
good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, as far as that goes, it's certainly given them an easy ride. But you do maybe want to take a bit of a break, maybe take it easy on them in some way, because yeah, they do constantly have to worry about the threat of walls. So.
And Murdoch pits.
Oh, Murdoch's
so he's pulled the trigger.
He has pulled the trigger.
And Ampio didn't follow him in. Neither did Dan. So yeah, this is interesting. Yes. So Ampio fancies the undercut. Dan fancies the undercut. Uni Clark's just coming around the last bend as well, so he's going to get himself ahead. And I tell you what, the guitar dude and Canapio, very close together to do it.
Yeah, I think they're both going to get ahead of Murdoch as well. So really what Murdoch needs to be doing, he needs to be getting out either ahead of or slightly behind the number 450 car, which is LNR Badwell. Get himself some clean air.
Yeah, and Canapio's pitted. So
Canapio's jumped into pits as well.
Yeah. Murdoch's moving.
So there we go.
And that guitar dude's going to run a final corner. This is going to be close.
Yes, it
has
is.
He got him?
Has he got him? Oh, it's a drag race. So Murdoch's going to have to respect the fact here that he is in the slipstream, but he is on outlap tyres. And there's only so much you can do on outlap tyres. Doesn't matter how much talent you've got. If your tyres give up, bye-bye. So yeah, he's going to slot him behind there. He's going to be slightly unimpressed that he's stuck in there. But with the pace that Murdoch's got, no disrespect to the guitar dude at all here, I think Murdoch's going to find it pretty easy to warm his tyres up, stay very, very, very close. And the guitar dude's made a mistake. The guitar dude has made a mistake and lost the back end. And exactly what we're talking about earlier, the camber, as you're going uphill, it will just spit you out. So the guitar dude's lost himself a place. He's not hit the wall, not too much I don't think. Oh, and he's lost the back again. Maybe, tell ya, I'm thinking he's carrying damage.
Yeah.
That's very, given the performance so far, we're going to call that very much out of character. So I'm expecting damage. So are we going to throw our hat in the ring and think he's going to pit this lap? I think he's going to have to.
Well, speaking of pitting, Ampio is pitted, but also AJ to the P has jumped Canapio in the pits.